The Trump White House is just the latest in a long line of administrations that has tried to deal with North Korea. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen tells us how we got here.
Korea, hope spread with the armistice.
The armistice that ended the Korean War brought an uneasy truce to the peninsula, but established an implacable enemy to the United States in North Korea, a Stalinist dictatorship ruled ever since by the corrupt and brutal Kim dynasty. President Clinton launched negotiations that climaxed in 1994's Agreed Framework, under which the North agreed to freeze its plutonium program in exchange for fuel and economic aid and the construction of 2 light water reactors.
This agreement is good for the United States, good for our allies.
In time, however, U.S. intelligence would discover that Pakistani nuclear scientist A.Q. Khan was running a nuclear bazaar for rogue states. The Bush-Cheney administration confronted North Korea about its covert nuclear work, and the regime admitted it. The Undersecretary of State for Arms Control at the time was John Bolton.
And when the negotiators of the Agreed Framework were confronted on this reality and the absurdity of giving North Korea light water reactors, their argument was they had believed that the North Korean regime would collapse before they got to nuclear weapons.
In the 6-party talks that followed, with Russia and China participating, then Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and aide Chris Hill believed they had secured the dismantlement of North Korea's entire nuclear apparatus, again in exchange for aid.
We're going to get out of the business of producing nuclear weapons.
The demolition of a cooling tower at the nuclear complex in Yongbyon seemed like a good faith measure, but a declaration intended to show the North's compliance instead contained traces of the enriched uranium the North denied it had, and its nuclear program accelerated, with the first nuclear device detonated in 2006, followed by 4 more over the Obama era.
The threat is much more immediate now, and so it's clear that we can't repeat the same approach, failed approach of the past.
Rather than pressing our strategy to the point of some kind of miscalculation on the part of the North Koreans or others for that matter, the important thing would be to keep the pressure on the Chinese to try to see if we can't get North Korea to the negotiating table.
But President Trump has effectively written off the Chinese as a useful intermediary with the North Koreans, our de facto policy for the last decade or so. With the commander-in-chief tweeting last month, "It has not worked out. At least I know China tried." Brett.
James, thank you.